Hi guys, welcome back to the Humble Gamer channel. I'm the Humble Gamer and this is yet more of my summer Steam Festival of Steam thing. We are on the Southwald Railway and we are driving an adaptation of Taliesin Railway number 4. This is Burnhope, or Stanhope as it's advertised. And yeah, this is another narrow gauge route because we've done quite a lot of standard gauge stuff. We are doing a narrow gauge route. There will be other routes as well coming shortly. We are pulling these two long Taliesin railway coaches. Now the Southwald Railway is a railway that I know was a real life railway, but I don't know much about it. I couldn't give you much. I believe it's still going. I think it's one of the preserved routes. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it is. But either way, we should be running the full length of the route from Halesworth here through Wenhaston, stopping at all stations, stopping at Wenhaston, Blytheborough or Blytheburg, Walberswick, past Southwold Harbour, and into Southwold platform. Shouldn't take us, it's saying about an hour. Hopefully that whistle didn't deafen you the same way it deafened me the first time I heard it. Oh no, the what do you know, the handbrake wasn't on. 16 mph on the Southwold line. In fact, I've got my phone in front of me. Let me see if the Southwold Railway is still going. Southwold Railway. It is England's premier 3-foot gauge railway, so it is still going. Linked to the site of the actual railway down below. I'm just going to turn that down in my headphones because that's still quite a bit louder than I would normally like it. I believe for this railway that you need the Corris Railway, but check out the link. Check out all the stuff in the description that will tell you what you need to run this particular route, as will be the same on all the routes in this playlist. So yeah, oh, there's a cow inside a truck. This is that's a very light railway fare. Okay, so 6 miles an hour at the moment, so yeah, that's doable. Oh, well, there's a little diorama going on down here. What's happened? Haha, nice. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. They've obviously upended their little wagon load there. As we come out of Halesworth, next to the main line. It abruptly stops, but from the Southwald Railway you can't actually see that, so, and that's the important thing. So 16 mph. We've got 8 miles to go. Well, 9 miles give or take. So yeah, we're into some more narrow gauge stuff. There is more standard gauge stuff coming your way, and not all in Britain, although because this is a festival, it's not all going to be. I know this is in my TrainSim workshop routes list, but a couple of videos in this won't be routes from the workshop, because I want to do a proper festival, so that's steam from around the world, and I only own certain routes for certain other countries. Either way, yes, I like this scenery so far. Again, very nice, very detailed. Narrow gauge routes are just lovely. So don't get me wrong, I enjoy this. I enjoy the standard gauge stuff as much as anybody, but narrow gauge routes, they have a particular charm about them, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And this one is another really nice one. I don't know. I know that my previous video was the Dolbadarn or Dolbaden light railway, which was gorgeous. If you haven't seen that, if you're new to the channel or this is the first video you've watched of mine in a long time, check it out. Also check out the rest of the stuff I've done over this last month. Nice little engine shed there. Old platform. That's a pre-made asset. But what's it originally from? That's the question. Well, part of that is the Corris line, I'm sure. Ooh. Have to check that out. Don't know that one. And yes, we're obviously oh no, we're not climbing, just the land is dropping, so we've been kept flat. We've hit the speed limit of 16 mph. Woo! High speed! More horse-drawn carriages. It's a very nice way of doing that. I quite like that. I really do quite like that. Didn't know those wagons were scenery models. I'll have to look into that for Sodor. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen, please do check out Sodor in the description below. Lovely. Lovely. Again, some of these routes that I've downloaded, I don't know if I necessarily have all of the stuff, so there might be missing textures and missing assets here and there, so please don't do what I do, double check down below and see what the actual, and you know, if you've got the what the route actually demands, then please do use it. Right, so again, good detailing. Again, different style of route design, but very good detailing. I like it. I like it a lot. Inspiration for my Skarloey Railway route within Sodor. Which is on the list. It's on the list to be completed, but it is not the next one to be completed. The next one to be completed is, I believe, the Rolf's Castle branch. Is the next railway that will be the next part of Sodor that will be completed, and I shall get that to you when it's completed. Yes, I'm missing a lot of assets there. There's an awful lot of milk bottles. But otherwise, I quite like that idea for the bridge using the crates. Quite like that. Good, clever use of assets. That's what I like to see in these routes. So Wenhaston is probably about a mile away, maybe 2. But so this is really nice. It's a very cluttered is the wrong word, but it's a very dense landscape, and I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. I like the use of the assets. I like. I just like it looks good from the train as well. It looks good from the cab, and it will also look good from Le Carrage. And actually, despite the amount of assets, a surprisingly low performance hit. But then I do have a custom rig, so and if you ask, I don't know the technical specs of it. It's good. Good. It's got like the second best NVIDIA card of the time, which was about 2 years ago. So I think it's the GTX 1080, something like that. Some sort of it's a 10. It's got 1080 in it, and it's made by the people that make the GeForce. I don't know. I know it's good. And that's all I can tell you. But yeah, no, this is nice. It's definitely definitely the 16 speed limit is. It limits you. It limits you to what you can do. Well, it limits you to about 16 miles an hour. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice scenery, and I feel like. I think the thing is, sometimes the value you get for these routes, bearing in mind that some of the assets are paid assets, obviously, but the value you get with these workshop routes, given that they're free, and the amount of detail like that is put into some of them, and not just the narrow gauge ones. Some of the detail that is put into some of the standard gauge ones it's phenomenal, and they've done some of these guys and girls do a really good job. I said guys and girls to be less gender specific. What I should say is some of these people, regardless of how they, regardless of whatever their preferred pronoun is. But yeah, the folks that do these things are some very talented people. Again, great use of the. How do you make the fence lie down like that? That must be a plated thing, not a. That must be each individual fence panel rather than a loft. I would guess, but again, just really good, clever use of assets. Very nice, very smart. I like it. I like it. This is a good one. This is a keeper. But again, as we've discussed many times during this Steam Festival, there aren't many I don't like. So, right, what are we coming up to? Going past Wenhaston Mill, and then we'll be stopping at Wenhaston platform for a brief stoppage. There is Wenhaston Mill in the distance. You can't see it from the quite see it from the footplate. Yeah, there we are. There it is, just there, coming out of the trees. I hope you are enjoying this month of Steam videos. Obviously, if you're here for regular video gaming, that is back as of September. The first Friday in September, we're back to your regular service. And if you were just if you are just here for the TrainSim stuff, which is fine, by the way, there will be other railway-based games coming, because I've now got this whole Humble Railways channel. Which is channel 2, I believe, on the Humble Gamer channel. Let me double check that in my notes. What am I doing? Oh yeah, looking in my notes to find stuff about my own channel. No, channel 2 is the Humble Wi-Fi, which at time of recording there is no footage on, but there will be footage coming very, very soon. That's where Charlie is going to be playing video games for you all on the channel. Channel 3 is Humble Railways, which will include my Sodor Snippet series, this series, and anything else I do that is railway based. There are going to be some TrainSim World videos coming. I said at the beginning of this they'd be coming during the Steam Fest, but of course then I realised there's no Steam in TrainSim World, so it won't be coming as part of the Steam Fest, but TrainSim World itself will be coming to the channel, as will some new railway strategy games, things like Railway Empire and things like Railway Tycoon 2 Platinum. Because I preferred that to Railway Tycoon 3. Railway Tycoon 3 was good, but I preferred Railway Tycoon 2. I thought the campaign mode in Railroad Tycoon 2 was better. Hey, this is just me. This is just me. So, yes, and now I'll close that off on my phone. As we are coming into Wenhaston platform. Having gone past Wenhaston Mill, which I'm pretty sure we can have a look at once we stop. Yeah, it should be in plenty close enough. This is nice. It is always nice. It's got a definite feel to it, and it's a feel I like. Open up the cindercocks as we come past. There we go. We can't take on passengers because it is, as is common with the Tallyflin Railway stuff, it's on the wrong side of the coaches, but never mind. And it is large. I think if there's one thing that lets this route down, how can I... Why are you not stopping? Okay. Didn't know that about this particular locomotive model. This is a TrainSim. This is a UK TrainSim.com model, so the model is in no way related to the route or its creator. So yes, here's Wenhaston mill, fairly standard, like it. Good job, well designed. And here is Wherry. This has definitely set in the not in the preservation era, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. That's a very Germanic signal box. So yeah. So yes. Anyway, here we go. We are away. No point in putting the brakes on because. Apparently that button doesn't work on this locomotive, which is fine. Just handbrake it all the way. Oh, am I speeding? Oh well. Never mind, eh? So yes, our next stop, after that brief pause at Wherry, is not far away. It's at Blytheborough. And then it's just one last stop at Walberswick, and then on to Southwald. So yeah, this is nice. I've also got a lot of, speaking of going back a few topics, speaking of the sort of stuff I want to do on the channel regarding with railways involved, there's a lot of stuff I want to do on TrainSim. There's a couple of challenges. Some of you will know that I do the Grand Adventures. Obviously TrainSim gets used, it got used a lot in around the world in 80 in-game days. It's getting used a lot in the one that I'm currently in the middle of recording, to be announced at a later date. It wasn't used in Journey to the Centre of the gaming centre of the earth because it's obvious. I like to think it's obvious anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to do with Train Simulator. There's this particular challenge I want to set myself involving Train Simulator, which is one of the reasons I've been looking at a lot of these routes. See what I can sort out. Because there's a couple of challenges I want to do, and speaking of which, there's a challenge that I'm going to do for the last video of this. The final video of this is a repeat of a challenge that I failed to do in a Twitch live stream that I want to try and see if I can actually achieve. That was, I can't remember what the locomotive was. I think it was Tornado, but I can't remember. I shall check the live stream and get back to you. But it was to pull 10 coaches on the oh, that's annoying. It's completely gone. Somerset and Dorset, that's the one. On the Somerset and Dorset route from Bath to the other end of the route. God, my railway knowledge has disappeared. Gone completely. It's not even that late. For me, this is early. It's only 11:15. Okay, let's start pushing this loco a little bit because we can get up to 16 mph. Ah. Great, now the handbrake won't come off Stanhope. Go on the carriage. But it won't come off Stanhope, so... well, at least stopping's going to be easier. I should put a link to this model on the UK TrainSim.com website, should you wish to use it. I can't necessarily say I recommend it, because I've had a few problems with it. And they're not problems of my own making, so... But there we go, either way. Still got about half an hour left before we get to Southwold, in about 5 miles. But that will obviously be slightly altered by the fact that I can only go so fast, because I'm fighting against the brake constantly. Right, I'm quickly going to get a get my glass of water from the table behind me. If I crash, let me know. Well, I didn't crash, which is good. The good thing is I can use my reverser to control my speed, because it seems to increase when I'm on 2/3 reverser and decrease when I'm on 1/2 reverser. So that's okay, that's doable, that's manageable. I wonder if maybe if I stop and take the handbrake off when I stop at the next station, I wonder if that will solve anything, but either way. We are getting towards some semblance of the coast. Getting a bit of marshland down there, but then the coast is on this side, I would imagine, so... Mind you, I suppose at the moment we're just heading towards the coast, and then there's the curve, isn't there, towards Southwold and the harbour, so... Yeah. Either way, coming up to Blytheborough. I'm actually quite warm, so I'm going to take my jumper off, so again... Oh, we're going downhill. So again, if I crash, give us a shout. So I had a slight fight with my sleeve there, but either way, we're back. Say we're back, I'm back. I'm hoping you guys didn't go away, did you? Yeah, so we're starting to see some of the marshland towards the coast. This is good. This is a good route. I think one thing TrainSim needs, and I put this out to any modelers out there who are either freelance modelers or people who work for developer companies, be they Dovetail Games or third-party developers, some more variation in the narrow gauge, by which I mean, because this is obviously, this is 2-foot track or 2-foot 6-inch track or Corris track, I think. I can't remember which gauge Corris is. It's the same as the Sally Flynn, I think. Which I think is 2'6", but I could be wrong. But obviously the Southwald Railway is a 3-foot gauge, and that would be pretty cool to have. One I've been crying out for a very long time is the Eskdale Railway, the 15-inch gauge, or indeed the Romney Hythe and Dymchurch Railway, which again is 15-inch. Something like that would be amazing, and I think it would genuinely, people would snap it up. I certainly would. I would absolutely love it if we could get stuff like that. So if anyone knows of anything... Oh, funny story. I remember I was talking about, going back a few videos, I spoke about the... so if you was going back a couple of weeks, for me it's going back about... Again, probably about a couple of weeks actually. I spoke about the... There was a GWR locomotive that I really wanted. But I don't think anyone had... But had at that time of recording, no one had developed. It was the GWR 28XX280. It was when I did the Severn Valley Railway, one of the first video I recorded for this festival. And lo and behold, Steam Sound Supreme have, within the last week or so, again at time of recording, it's almost certainly out by the time you see this, have just announced it. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, due to the lockdown and lack of earnings at the moment, me buying TrainSim stuff is pretty much out of the question. But yeah, so it's there, so it will at some point. But yes, here we are, we're at Blytheborough, and yes, there's the coast over there, and the coast is starting to appear around us here. Oh, nice use of... Oh, that's lovely, I like that. That's nice. They've done a good job on that trestle there. As we'll start to get closer to the coast, all things considered. But yeah, no, this is nice. I like this, and this is Blytheborough. Very nice, very nice, very nice indeed. So let's go, shall we? Oh no, hold on. Turn that off. No, that brake is just going to stay on. Fine. Okay, so let's just pulverise the locomotive by pushing it against its handbrake. But there we go. These are the trials of using Train Simulator 2020. It is what it is, but yeah, this is nice. I think I'm gonna have to get a shot of this from this side, I think. Just on top of that rock. Oh, gorgeous, look at that. That is lovely. That is very, very nice indeed. Take a screenshot of that, I think. Lovely. And now, yes, we're on a massive causeway across the... I would guess this is floodplain, marshlands? Or whatever, whichever one it is. Again, it's really nice. They've done some wonderful scenery, and there's another trestle up there. This is lovely. I don't know... Anyone who knows the Southwald Railway, either the original either the original incarnation or the current preserved one. How accurate is this? Because I've never been. I don't know the Southwald Railway particularly well. But let me know how accurate this is. Because it'd be awesome if it was like totally accurate. That's lovely. That feels seasidey. Oh, I'm going to have to do some work on Sodor, I think. I'm going to have to do some serious work on Sodor to make it look a bit more seasidey. At the seaside. Obviously, not just, you know, just in general. This is really nice. The scenery on this is lovely. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. Fan, because... Yeah, shut up. I know I'm not funny. I'm well aware of this fact. Don't need you or anyone else to tell me. So yes, we'll come off... Yeah, we're coming off the causeway soon, then I'm guessing we curve around. There's probably another causeway, I guess. But I don't know. But one thing I like is the use of water and the use of the shrubbery. Because that looks like... It looks like seaweed and stuff like that. I could well believe. Like, there's bits... Because my uncle... obviously, I've been to the coast in general, but my uncle also lives up near the Forth Bridge, and I've been... You know, down right to the sea there, and it does look just like this. It's very clever use of the assets. Very clever use of the assets. Or, more specifically, a way of using the assets that I hadn't thought of, and that makes me angry. But no, it's very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. But yeah, so there is other railway stuff coming onto the channel. It won't always be in part of the festivals, it will be as part of the normal gaming run. I'm thinking, in terms of the festival, because I know that some of you guys have really asked me to do more diesel stuff. And I will do diesels. I have diesels, I have many diesels, I have many variety of diesels. So I'm thinking probably sort of October-ish? No, November-ish, because... October is Halloween, so I want to do some Halloween stuff for Halloween. But yeah, I'm thinking probably first, second week of November. Sometime in November there will be a diesel gala. That won't be quite as big as this. It won't be like a full, because I'm not as into diesels as I am into steam. But I'll probably say do a couple of weeks of, you know, 8, 9, 10 videos, possibly daily videos just for that bit, because I can pre-record them. So. But yeah, so there'll be a diesel festival coming up. If you're a big fan of electric traction, I own like 4 bits of it, so I could do an electric traction festival, but it would be either very samey or very short. And that's another lovely use of assets to make that little bridge. That, whoa! There was not much clearance on that. That's another sort of trope, if you will, of narrow gauge locomotives, isn't it? Narrow gauge railways. This is nice. Oh, sorry, my voice really peaked then. This is nice. This is nice. I like this little cutting. Now, this is like what I've done on bits of Sodor that are narrow gauge. And again, if you haven't seen my Sodor stuff, so you can check it out in the description below. But yeah, so the train simulator stuff in terms of this will be back on a sort of semi-regular basis. But I wanted to do a big festival because it's the first bit of train sim I've done since I got back. from my break. So that will be, yeah, it will be about 2 months of video games up before this point, maybe 3. I'm not sure. I can check, obviously, because I have my phone here, so I can check when I uploaded stuff. Yeah, so it's about 3 months at time of recording since I've been back. So it'll be 4 months by the time that you guys have seen this, and I haven't done any TrainSim. So I want to do a big sort of TrainSim, it's back sort of situation, which is what this is. But it will then become like, you know, you'll have a couple of videos every month. And the schedule of that, obviously I also do other gaming stuff. I'm not just a TrainSim channel, and I don't really ever want to be. So, but TrainSim, what I'm saying is TrainSim will always be a regular part of the channel. It just won't be the complete channel. But there will be other railway stuff coming. Like I said, with a couple of RTSs and trying to control my speed, but it's difficult knowing that I have a brake which is permanently on. How far away are we from? So we're approaching Walberswick, and then it's not far to Southwald. We're only 2.5 miles from Southwald as it is. So it was saying 10. Oh, wait a second. There we go. Thank you. Obviously had a fair bit to load in, but by God, this game is unstable, and that always makes me nervous when it does that. Where it just suddenly pauses to load stuff in. But this is nice. I think this is one of those. This is one of those things where this is one of those routes where, and this is to take nothing away from the route developer, but this is one of those routes where having actual 3-foot gauge track and assets and stock would. That's a nice little bridge. There's no clearance underneath it, but it's a nice little bridge. But I think actually having the genuine stock would be more beneficial, because the scenery, and this is true of the area, but the scenery is quite samey, and that's not the developer's fault. The developer has done a wonderful job of it, but the scenery is quite samey, and because of where it is in Britain, there's not a lot of. I'm going to have to push it a little bit, because we are now losing steam. Oh, there we go. We're back up to full. So that's fine. We can now put a bit of speed on. So that brake has really cost me. I nearly went with an actual Tallyclin locomotive, not a reskin. But then how does a reskin affect the brakes? That's what I want to know. Either way. Then I don't know if this is a reskin. I think this is actually just a new model that just happens to look like that is modelled off the Tallyclin stuff. I don't know. Either way, I don't believe this model is done by Steve Pontin or anyone else involved in either the Tallyclin or Welsh Highland Festiniog routes. Either way, we are now approaching the small village of Walberswick. And yeah, this has really captured this kind of area of England, and it's done it really well. So like I said, please, if you are the developer and you watch this, I don't mean that the scenery is samey in a negative way. It's just the scenery is samey in this part of the country, so it's one of those unfortunate things. You see, here's the problem with having the handbrake on all the time, which I now... Is there a control in the... That's the firebox doors. That's the regulator. That's the driver's injector. That's the whistle. That'll be the reverser, yep. So that's the handbrake wheel. There we go, that's more like it. I think I've taken the handbrake off. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, I've definitely taken the handbrake off because now we are gaining speed at a much more desirable rate. And I can finally get steam back. Why didn't I think of going into the cab before? Once again, me, narrow gauge locomotives and handbrakes. Walberswick is on the right side of the... Well, it's on the left-hand side, but it's on the correct side. Of the carriages, so we can... And hopefully we can build up a bit of steam. So, to finish this last mile and a half to Southwold. Bang. And bang. There we go. Lovely. Oh, nice use of the Penryn signal box? I think it is Penryn. But yes, there we go. Not that. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do, thank you. Very, very nice. So this is Walberswick. And again, lovely little station. With a very light railway, light narrow gauge railway feel. Oh, and there's Southwold Harbour. We'll have a look at that while we're paused. Very nice. Again, very similar, very typical of the Victorian industrial era, thinking that they could make this into an industrial hub when, I mean, look at it. there's nothing here. How would this ever have become an industrial hub? It's a bit like the the Linton and Barnstaple Railway. Like, how was that ever going to become a financial success other than being a tourist route? It was never going to be a good success. Because there's just not enough stuff there. But valiant Victorian optimism, and I love it. I love it. And it ultimately gave us these kinds of routes to drive on. So, I'm pretty sure we should be good to go by now. Yes, we are. So just take the handbrake off the coach as well, and then off we go for the final mile and a half. And it's saying 12 minutes. I would be surprised if it takes us 12 minutes to do a mile and a half, but then it has taken us, nearly 35. Well, it's taken us over 35 minutes to do 7 miles. So 5 minutes a mile, 12 miles an hour is the average. But we can go quicker than that now because all the brakes are off. But yes, I think here is a bridge that I don't have all the assets for coming up very soon over the mouth of whatever river this is. I can check that actually, probably, if I go on Google Maps, since I've got my phone here and didn't do any research before I did the video. Southwold. It is the River Blythe. And we're just going past, apparently we're just going past Walberswick Beach, which is mentioned specifically on Google Maps. I don't think the Southwald Railway actually goes to Southwold anymore, though, judging by Google Maps. I think it's a museum at the moment rather than a specific rather than a heritage, a running heritage line in that sort of sense. I could be wrong, but like I said, check out the link in the description down below to the museum website. But yes, here we are. We're just crossing the River Blythe now. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, not even late. Oh, there we go. Now I think the handbrake is fully off. And yes, there's the little route that takes us down to the little side route that takes us down to Southwald Harbour, which we have, of course, looked at. Where am I? There I am, just there, just next to my face, actually. Saying 8 minutes to do a mile, that's not going to be the case. 8-minute mile, 16 miles an hour. No. No, that doesn't work. It's not going to take us 8 minutes. I can tell you that much. But yeah, so this is a good route. This is a good route. I genuinely think it would benefit. I think TrainSim in general would benefit from things like 3-foot gauge, because then we could get something like, I don't know, picking one out of the air, the Isle of Man railway network, which absolutely should be done, because it's a wonderful heritage route. It's one of the ones I don't have many bucket list things, but the Isle of Man in general is a bucket list thing. But the Isle of Man railway network and the Manx Electric Railway are also they're things I would love to do. Things I'd love to go to. That would be genuinely amazing. Oh, excuse me. Excusez-moi. Yeah, I think don't judge this loco too harshly. I think I can probably recommend it, but just remember that you have to do the handbrake from within the loco before you pull off. So now here is the small, I guess, town of Southwold. And the others have been villages, but this is a more sizable thing. I think this is definitely a town rather than a village. Looks pretty nice though. Looks very nice. So yeah, anyone who does know the Southwald Railway in a bit more detail, i.e. knows it at all, because I don't know anything about it, other than it's in Southwald, which is southern East Anglia. And even that I didn't know until I checked on Google Maps with this. You know, let me know how accurate a depiction that was. Because I've got nothing to add, I don't know it at all. I think on Microsoft TrainSim, on the old Microsoft TrainSim, there is a Southwold route, complete with 3-foot gauge stocks. Obviously, they weren't true scale to start with anyway, TrainSim. And I know it's 5 miles an hour, but stick that on, that'll start slowing us. As we come into Southwold Station. That's definitely Corris Railway stuff. Hold on, I just need to take the handbrake off as we pull into Southwold Station. Turn the regulator down. and stick le handbrake on. So yeah, that's not a bad route. That's not a bad route at all. Good, clever use of assets. I like it. I like the use of this here at the yard. There's that asset again. That must be Corris Railway. It must be. I like the individual sheds for all the locomotives. No, this is very, very nice. It's very much a great depiction of what it's trying to depict, from what I can tell, from what little I know of the Southwald Railway. Again, good use of assets. Nice, very nice. So thank you ever so much for watching. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, please do like and subscribe. Check out this mod on the Steam Workshop in the description below. Check out TrainSim also in the description below. Check out my other TrainSim stuff, including the Solar Snippet series in the description below. And also down there are third-party developers, as I said in every video. They don't know I'm doing this, I'm not getting sponsored or anything, they're just third-party developers that I really, really like. So thank you ever so much for watching. Check the annotations on the screen you're about to see. I was me, that was the Southwald Railway in TrainSim 2020. See you in the next video, guys. Goodbye. Oh, there's no way this bridge is holding out. Absolutely no way. No way, we're gonna plunge. We've got to plunge. There we go.